Okay, this is part 2, guys. Hopefully y'all will follow me over from part 1. Now, I'm not an innocent person. I'm not going to sit there and lie and say that I'm innocent. I have my ways as well. However, this has continued to carry on. And again, I am making this information. I'm making these videos just in case anything ever happens to me. I want the world to know that I will never leave my kids behind. I will never do anything to jeopardize my life or my kids' life, okay? I love my children and I would do anything for them. So if I come up missing, or if something happens to me, I end up in the hospital, I end up shot, stabbed, anything like that, end up unconscious, I did not do that voluntarily. This was not by choice, okay? That means my oldest 2 kids, their father sent someone to either attack me, to come for me, or he did it himself, okay? This is the proof. I'm putting it out there, all right? So let's go to part 2. Part 2, we're going to talk about the reason why this man wanted to take full custody of the kids, okay? I had problems and issues with him paying child support, so they had to like keep coming for him to try to get him into court. Let me make sure I cover up the address because I don't want to show the address. But here is documentation from the state of Tennessee Child Support Office, okay? Tennessee Child Support Office. There's my name. My name was Leslie Jones at the time because I was married, and it's against the father of my kids, okay? This was where we had to appear at juvenile court. This was February the 15th of 2024 at 1:30. Now, because he served me these papers, so just take notes in advance for people that are going through divorce. Because he served me these papers, January the 11th of 2024, Child Support Division Court could not do anything about child support at the time. Even if he was behind or anything like that, the only thing that they could do was enforce him to keep paying the amount that was already pre-planned. So we were going back to court because he wasn't paying, okay? And I can show y'all proof of that too with my payment history. So we were having problems and issues with that. So we were having to go to court for that. He did not want to pay child support. And when I tell you I have documents, these are all text messages, y'all. These are all text messages from all the years and stuff like that I have dealt with this man, okay? So I have a lot of documents, and I made sure I kept all of these because I knew I would need them one day. Even if at court he wasn't able to do anything, or they weren't good at the time, I knew that I eventually would need them. Now, my kids ended up, because of all of this, because of this back and forth, this arguing and stuff like that, my kids ended up having to take counseling, okay? This is part of their counseling. This is Health Connect America. This is part of the counseling filed through their insurance. Okay, this was, I didn't show too much, yeah. Yeah. Because I don't want to show all their info. This is my kids' information. I don't want to show that. So, this here, these are documents from their counseling sessions. And I'm just going through this paperwork with y'all. I haven't read through all of it fully in a while, because it's been a while since I went through these documentations. Because this was like, I used to look at these and I used to cry. Because I can't believe me and my kids had to go through half the stuff that we had to go through. So, let me see. And I'm telling this, I'm telling this of my kids and stuff like that. Where is it at? Hold on, guys, because I gotta find it. I want y'all to see, like, in the videos that I'm really looking through this stuff. Like, this isn't just for fake. This is real stuff, y'all. And this document is March 12th of 2024 is when this document was filed, okay? March 4th. There's my son's. I forgot if it was like on the back. Assessment and recommendations, diagnostic information, discharge summary, education, medication and dosages, psychiatric evaluation, treatment and cause and summary, and treatment plan. That's what all we had to go over for their mental health throughout this time. So this is actually like my first time really just going through this without crying, and I'm proud of that because I've came a long way. My daughter had an incident at the school, so that was an ordeal there. I had to go through that. I can't find it. Give me a second. Let me find this paper. Okay, part of her safety plan was step 1, warning signs, triggers, thoughts, images, mood, situation, behavior that a crisis may be developing. 1, ignores people, walks away, gets angry. Okay. So we had to work on that. So step 6, we had to make the environment safe. We had to remove guns, knives, other possible weapons. We had to remove medications, things like that, just to make sure none of that was around her at the time because she became a cutter. Yeah, there it is. Confidentiality. Suspected abuse or neglect of a child, elderly person, or disabled person when it is believed an individual is in danger, self-harm. If an individual intends to physically injure someone, the law requires the direct step if ordered by a court to release information. That was there. Where is it at? I don't remember seeing it on this paper because it's like a lot of paperwork. And y'all, please, if you are ever going through a divorce, a toxic divorce or marriage or separation, please keep your documentation. This is proof. Like, you need to keep your documentation. Okay, that's Peyton. So this was hers. I cannot find her diagnosis at the time. Okay. All right. My child suffers from trauma and stress is what my oldest suffers from. So that was part of the reason why we had to get her in. And my kids were basically being turned against me and stuff like that. So we had to get them into counseling. Now that was the court thing. I'm trying to make sure I cover everything. So anyways, this is where I had attained my attorney. I had to retain my attorney at the time. This is my attorney at the time. My attorney retainer. Okay. So I attained my attorney at that time, and yeah, and then it said, notice is hereby given that the undersigned will call this cause for hearing on the 15th day of February 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Okay, so we had that court date, February the 15th at 1:30 p.m. because he wasn't paying child support. So they finally got us in, but by that time he had already filed for divorce, so we couldn't go to court for child support because it was going through the judge. But this was signed, when I got my attorney was February the 3rd of 2024. So when I signed this paper, okay? So, my attorney. Yep. So anyways, proceed forward. So we went through the divorce thing. I'm battling for my full custody of my kids. And a lot is going on. Okay, a lot is going on. And I wasn't getting financial help at the time. He told his family that his attorney advised him not to pay the child support that was already pre-ordered of $350 a month for 2 children. So I was basically raising the kids on my own, yet again, by myself with no help. On top of that, had to get a an attorney that was like $4,000 something dollars. 4,000, almost $5,000. So I had to get that attorney. Thankfully, I had my mom and them to help me out, which I've told this story before, but I'm reiterating just in case because of somebody basically threatening me today. The father of my kids threatening me today. So, and I will be posting that video too. I'm not proud of it because I should have just walked away instead of arguing with this man. But at this point, I'm just so over it. I'm tired of nobody. Like, when I tell you, you don't really, it's hard to get help. It's hard to get people to see that you are being abused in a situation. Like, when you're just trying to defend yourself, when you're trying to stand up for yourself, when you're trying to fight for yourself, it comes off as you're the one being the aggressor because you don't walk away. When all I've done for years is just walk away. And I'm tired at this point. I'm tired of always turning the other cheek. Always being like, okay, I'm just going to be forgiving. I'm going to sweep it under the rug and just let stuff play out. It always happens. My kids have been with me. And my son finally, this all resulted, my son went over there this past weekend. After Thanksgiving, and it kind of just blew up after that, okay? Because at this point I found out that him and his fiance wife and stuff like that, not only have they were dragging me about me to my kids. He calls me all kind of hoes and stuff like that because I have 3 kids, because I have her by another man, but we weren't together. Like 2017, he was saying he wanted a divorce, you know what I'm saying? And he moved out. Like, he moved out, he was gone. So, and yeah, it wasn't right that I still had a kid while married. That's my fault. That's my karma. I take full accountability for that. But to continue to push this as far as it's going is ridiculous, and I'm tired. And it's not just him. He got other people involved, including his fiance wife is involved, and her friends. I actually work, I found out I work with her friends, like, and then that's how some information got back to him about stuff that I do. So I found that out because he came for me about that. So it's just problem after problem after problem, conflict after conflict. It's always something. Okay. So let's go to part 3, and I'm going to pull out the finalized divorce decree, okay?